Underground irrigation, installing irrigation valves. The lighting is not too well here. The sun is bright. It is HOT as in hot. And question, if you do this, if you install a sprinkler system and you put your valves in like this, and this, you may create a lot more work and a lot more work for yourself in the future, and a lot more work for the customer if you put these valves this close together. Many people do this with the manifold. Sometimes you have one valve that's bad, and although one valve is bad, you have to change every one of them because the T's are so close, everything is so tight. And so myself, I would leave a foot to a foot and a half between each valve if possible. And this way, if you have trouble, you change one valve. If you have trouble out of some of these, sometimes you can rebuild a valve, but sometimes you have to change every valve in the in that particular manifold scenario. So do keep this in mind. As one can see, there's 4 valves here, and they're butted right up to each other. So if one goes bad, it could come down to the possibility to where one may have to change all 4 valves, although only one valve may be bad. So my opinion is it's good to leave space between the valves. That's what I like to do. That way, if I have trouble with this valve, I can snip it, keep coming and come back. But each individual installs it the way they want to. It's not I'm not certain if there's a right way or a wrong way. Sometimes it gets into creativity. Sometimes it gets into landscaping. Sometimes it gets into topography. There are many variables out there, trees, shrubs, sod, sidewalks, driveways. So it's difficult to say, but if you leave space between your valves, you could perhaps save yourself more work, make your work much easier in the future. Notwithstanding, you may end up saving the customer money too, because the customer only has to pay for one. If you come out here and you have a slew of valves together, and one has to replace all the valves together and has to cut it out, and as one can see, there's a big hole here where I had to cut a bush out where the roots had grabbed around this thing, kind of like in an analogy would be like an octopus wrapping around something. And this bush, like right here, that sat right there, was very, very tough to come out. And as one can see, I actually cut the pipe over here in a small area, and then they put 3 pipes into one. So this is not the way I would have installed this. However, working on it several times, you end up working, and things improve and get better and better over time. So, but my opinion is it's better to leave a foot and a half between each valve. Now, I'm sure there's going to be naysayers out there that do it their way and like to do it their way, and that's fine, and I wouldn't quibble with that. However, I like to make the system work. I like it working well. I like it working expeditiously, and I like to save the customer money. But is there a right way and a wrong way? That's subject to debate. But if you put the valves this way, you could in the future create more problems or cost more money. So that's just my opinion. So I'm not saying I'm right, I'm not saying I'm wrong. If you do it your way, you do it your way. If I do it my way, I do it my way. And it's like, who's to say what's right and wrong? And but this is just the way I like to do it, is put space between the valves to make it easier for future problems, and to work on it and to make it easier in the future. Thank you for watching. Have a wonderful day.